Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan, ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR-FM. Music, arts, physical education, and health. Mga aralin na dapat malaman, inyong tututukan dito sa 106.3 Dance Radio. Ang istasyong magbibigay ng edukasyon kahit saan man at ang silid-aralan sa radyo. 106.3 DWDR-FM. Sa MAPEH, learning is amazing!
Hello? Drugs are waste of time. They destroy your memory and your self-respect and everything that goes along with your self-esteem. By Kurt Cobain. Good day, grade 8 learners. I'm Teacher Arnold V. Lagasca. With me is Teacher Mylene B. Agkawili to give us an introduction.
Monday to everyone. Today is another amazing day, another opportunity and another chance to each and everyone to learn something new. To our officer in charge, Ma'am Ofelia Esra Lutin, good afternoon po. An amazing afternoon also to our head teachers, especially to Sir Leonidas Bernardo of the MAPEH Learning Area, also to all teachers and staff of Doña Aurora National High School. To the parents, dear students, and to all our avid listeners and viewers here and abroad, most especially to the grade 8 learners. To my grade 8 Ivory, grade 8 Aquamarine, and grade 8 Science, hello mga anak. I hope you are ready to intermingle with us, and with me is Sir Arnel Lagasca.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma'am Mylene. So good afternoon po ulit to all our radio listeners and viewers via Dance FB live stream. I would also like to greet my class 8 SPJ, the class of Ma'am Alegria Domincil, that's 8 Beige, Burgundy, and Crimson. To Ma'am Ana Mary Mercado, 8 SPA, 8 Aristotle, Socrates, Copernicus. To Sir Ryan Colcol, ang klase niya po ay 8 Lavender. To Ma'am Monica Limpin, 8 Tangerine, 8 Purple, and Maroon. So I hope you're all ready to interact with us. For those who are following us via our Facebook live stream, don't forget to comment in our chat box, #health8. Ulitin ko, #health8. Kaya mag-ano na kayo, mag-comment na kayo sa chat box. Yan. Meron na bang nag-chat?
Yes, sir. Sige, check natin.
Ayan. So, pero mamaya makikita natin yan, no? So, and may we also encourage all those who are with us to please share this FB live stream, and so many learners and listeners will learn from our discussion. So, click and share.
Thank you so much, Sir Arnel. We are now on the last week of our RBI lesson for 4th quarter. That is Health Education 8, titled Gateway Drugs.
Yes.
Okay? Sir Arnel, ano nga ba ang inaasahan natin ngayon sa ating talakayan?
Okay, so pakikita ko po yung aking PowerPoint. So, for today's lesson, you're expected to attain the most essential learning competency. So here are the objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students of grade 8 are expected to, number 1, discuss gateway drugs. Number 2, analyze the negative health impact of cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol. Number 3, discuss strategies in the prevention and control of cigarette smoking and drinking alcoholic beverages. So now get your module and your writing materials, and here is your RBI lesson for today. Enjoy listening.
Music, arts, physical education, and health. Mga aralin na dapat malaman. Inyong tututukan dito sa Dance Radio. Ang istasyong magbibigay ng edukasyon kahit saan. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Totonia Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela. Ang silid-aralan sa radyo. 106.3 DWDR-FM. Dance Radio. Sa MAPEH, learning is amazing.
Good day, dear learners. I am glad to be with you in a 30-minute broadcast. I hope that you will enjoy our interesting topic. Please get your writing materials and learning activity sheets so we can start our lesson in Physical Education 8. The learning activity sheets provide you different activities that will help you become familiar with the topics or lessons about regional and national dances with Asian influence. Assistance of your parents, siblings, or relatives are encouraged in answering the learning activity sheets, particularly in the activities where you need to perform tasks. Are you ready to start?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck! From the previous lesson in Physical Education 8, you have learned about the different indoor recreational activities. Can you give one example of indoor recreational activity?
Yes, ma'am. Scrabble.
Very good. What is Scrabble?
Ma'am, Scrabble is a word game in which two or more players score points by forming words.
Very good. What else?
Chess, ma'am.
Good. What is chess?
Ma'am, chess is a recreational and competitive board game played between two players in a square board.
Amazing. Another example of board game?
Ma'am, domino.
Great. What is domino?
Ma'am, domino is a family of tile-based game played with the gaming pieces, commonly known as dominoes.
Great. Take note that in participating indoor recreational activities can foster a wide range of positive benefits, including opportunities for health, well-being, and quality lifestyle. For today's RBI lesson, you are expected to describe the nature and background of the dance. Execute the skills involved in the dance and exert best effort to achieve positive feeling about self and other. This time we will listen to a music used in dance, and you have to identify what particular dance this music is being used. Let's begin. Here is the first music. You have just heard the first music. What country in Asia the music originated?
Ma'am, the music originated in China.
Very good. What particular Chinese dance that music is being used?
Ma'am, Chinese fan dance.
Very good. Let's proceed to the second music. What particular country in Asia this music originated?
Ma'am, that music is originated in Japan.
Correct. What particular Japanese dance that music is being used?
Ma'am, that music is being used in Japanese parasol dance.
Correct. Those dances are Asian folk dances, particularly of China and Japan. As we continue with our discussion,
Okay, we're back. So, ina-assess kami dito ni Sir Mark kasi medyo nagkaroon po ng technical ano tayo dito. Okay, so mamaya na lang namin i-air yung RBI ng Health 8 kasi ang i-air po ay PE kasi tapos na ito kaya antay-antay na lang po. So ulitin na lang po mamaya i-air yung RBI. Pasensya na po. Okay? So ngayon, tutuloy na natin ang ating discussion. So kunwari, natapos na to. Ano ba, Maylin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hindi
Sige.
natin may iwasan itong mga ganito. Meron tayong mga tawag dito.
Konting problema.
Konting problema sa ating RBI. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
Ma'am Maylin, so let's proceed to our review kung ano man ang pinag-aralan natin last
Yes,
time.
sir. So bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating review, konting paalala, nais lang po naming magbigay ng konting paalala kasi hindi pa po tayo tapos sa ating laban sa pandemyang ito. So huwag tayong papakampante kasi hanggat may mga naitatalang bagong kaso, hindi pa tapos ang pandemya. So pinapaalalahanan namin, lalong-lalo na ang ating mga mag-aaral, na i-follow pa rin ang mga health protocols na itinalaga ng IATF. Okay, sa ating mga mag-aaral, lalong-lalo na sa mag-aaral ng grade 8, humanap ng safe na lugar kung saan makakapag-aral at nang mabuti.
Okay.
Sir Arnel?
Sige. So, ngayon, magkakaroon na tayo ng review. Ano, Ma'am Maylin? So, dito
Yes.
sa may review, naku, kinakalan dapat tama yung sagot nyo kasi mamimigay kami ng
Papremyo.
yes, papremyo.
Yes, so
Okay.
mamimigay kami ng premyo. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay namin ng load.
Okay.
Upang sa ganon, meron kayong load gagamitin pagpasa ng mga outputs. Di ba, Sir Arnel?
Correct ka dyan, Ma'am Maylin.
Okay, so before we proceed to the discussion of today's lesson, let us see if you really understood your previous lesson about communicable diseases.
Yes.
By identifying whether a statement is true or false. Use the icon thumbs up if the statement is true and thumbs down if the statement is false.
Yes.
All you have to do is to key in your answer in the chat box. Okay? Type the item number and your answer if the statement is thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay? Kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, winners will receive 20 pesos worth of load.
Correct.
So there are 3 items, sir. Ibig sabihin, per item, pag tama yung sagot, 20 pesos worth of
Yan.
load.
Tig to 20 sila. Ano, Ma'am Maylin?
Yes, Sir
Okay,
Arnel.
start na tayo. Statement number 1 na tayo.
Yes, so statement number 1.
Okay.
Many of the most common diseases are caused by tiny microorganisms called pathogens.
Okay, tingnan natin kung sino yung unang makakasagot. Is it Okay, so meron dito, unang nakasagot si Zara May Berioso.
Seryoso. Okay?
Tingnan natin kung tama yung sagot niya. Ang tamang sagot ay thumbs up.
Okay, so the statement is correct.
Ayan, in-screenshot ko na Mamaylin para makita ko yung kung sino yung sumagot.
Yes, congratulations, Sarah Berioso of... Anong section ni Sarah, sir?
Okay. Si
sabihin na lang mamaya.
Titignan ko
Okay.
na lang mamaya. Okay, next is
Statement number 2.
2.
Communicable diseases are diseases that cannot be transferred. Okay, I'll repeat. Communicable diseases are diseases that cannot be transferred.
Number 2, ayan, meron dito nakasagot ulit. Ang galing naman, ang bilis-bilis ng sumagot. Si Nora Rosete. Tama ba, Mamaylin?
Sir, hindi nag-feed dito sa live ko.
Oo. 8 Aristotle siya. Number 2, thumbs down. Tingnan natin kung tama si Nora. Okay, thumbs down.
Yes.
Ayan. Next, item number 3.
Okay, here's the statement. Worms are not classified as parasites.
Yan.
Okay, I'll repeat. Worms are not classified as parasites.
Kasi merong item. Ayan, meron na. Sumagot. Si 8 Crimson. Walang iba kundi si Gerson Marinay. Tignan
Check
natin kung
natin.
tama siya, no? Si
Yes,
Gerson. Aha. Ang tamang sagot ay thumbs
Thumbs
down.
down.
So yung sumunod sa kanya, taga 8 Copernicus, si Cassandra Javier. Okay? Oh, sorry Gerson. Sa susunod na lang ulit. Okay. So, congratulations to all the winners. Your answers show that you really understood our previous lesson. So, okay na siguro yung ating RBI, ano? Sir Dennis? Okay. Tuloy natin. Okay na po. So, here is now our RBI in Health, Education, 8. Last quarter na po ito. Ay, tama. Last quarter na nila.
Music, arts, physical education, and health. Mga aralin na dapat malaman. Inyong tututukan dito sa Dance Radio. Ang istasyong magbibigay ng edukasyon kahit saan. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Totonia Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela. Ang silid-aralan sa radyo. 106.3 DWDR-FM. Dance Radio. Sa MAPEH, learning is amazing.
Good day, grade 8 learners. I'm happy to be with you in 30-minute broadcast. Please get now your writing materials and learning activity sheets so we can start our lesson
Audio ko, audio ni
in
Mylene.
8.
Wait lang mga anak ko, ha?
Activity sheets
Nawala
provide
yung dalawa,
different
si Sir Mark
activities
tsaka si Sir
that will help you
Joshua.
become familiar with the topics or lessons about
Anyway, nakapag-review naman na tayo,
prevention of
no?
substance use and abuse, particularly in cigarette and alcohol. Assistance of your parents, siblings, or relatives are encouraged in answering the learning activity sheets, particularly in the activities where you need to perform tasks. Are you ready to start?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck! From the previous lesson in health, you have learned about pathogens, chain of infection, stage of infection and communicable diseases. What are pathogens?
Ma'am, pathogens are microorganisms that causes communicable diseases.
Correct! What are the examples of pathogens?
Ma'am, examples of pathogens are virus, bacteria, rickettsia, protozoa, fungi, and parasitic worms.
You are right. How can we prevent and control communicable diseases?
We can prevent and control communicable diseases by drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water, exercise 30 minutes every day, and sleep 8 hours a day.
Precisely. In addition, don't forget to take a bath daily. Practice proper hygiene. Disease prevention and control is very important health concern because it affects the quality of people's lives. At the end of this RBI lesson, you are expected to discuss gateway drugs. Analyze the negative health impact of cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol, and discuss strategies in the prevention and control of cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol beverages. I'll be right back after the infomercial.
Pangarap? Droga?
Droga? Pangarap?
Pumili ka. Isa lang.
Dahil kapag nagdroga ka,
pangarap mo'y walang halaga.
pamilya, droga,
Droga, pamilya,
Pumili ka. Isa lang.
dahil kapag nagdroga ka,
kinabukasan ng pamilya'y wasak na.
Buhay? Droga.
Droga, buhay,
pumili ka, isa lang.
pero pag nagdroga ka,
Buhay mo parang tinapos mo na.
Huwag gawin ang isang bagay na pagsisisihan.
isang paalala mula sa Doña Aurora National High School at ng himpilang ito. Kayo nakikinig sa Health Grade 8 kasama si Teacher Nina Jenny Sigirian.
I'm back! Tell something about the infomercial you have just heard.
Ma'am, it is all about drugs.
Very good! What happens if you put your life on drugs?
Ma'am, based from the infomercial, it will ruin your dreams, your life, as well as your family.
Very good! Taking drugs can affect not just your physical and mental health, but your whole life. Difficult as it may be to face one's problems, the consequences of drug use are always worse than the problem one is trying to solve with them. The real answer is to get the facts and not to take drugs in the first place. This time, let us deepen more our understanding about drug education. This time, let us define gateway drugs.
Gateway drugs, ma'am?
Yes, when we say gateway drugs, are open doors for a non-drug user to try and experiment on more dangerous and illegal drugs. Despite the total ban on cigarette advertisements, more and more Filipinos, including teenagers, are getting hooked on this vice. what are the examples of gateway drugs?
Ma'am, examples of gateway drugs are cigarette and alcohol.
You are correct! Since cigarettes and alcohol are readily available and generally accepted in our society, many people use them for various purposes. Let us start with the first gateway drugs, which is the cigarette. What is cigarette?
Ma'am, cigarette is a cylindrical rolled paper containing dried and shredded tobacco leaves.
That is right. It is ignited at one and puffed at the other end. Its main component is nicotine. And what is nicotine?
Ma'am, nicotine is a stimulant that is highly addictive.
Brilliant answer! A cigarette also contains approximately 600 other ingredients. The smoke coming from it contains more than 7,000 chemicals, 69 of which are carcinogenic or cancer-causing substance. For more understanding, let us listen to the information about cigarette smoking.
Cigarettes aren't good for us. That's hardly news. We've known about the dangers of smoking for decades. But how exactly do cigarettes harm us? Let's look at what happens as their ingredients make their way through our bodies and how we benefit physically when we finally give up smoking. With each inhalation, smoke brings its more than 5,000 chemical substances into contact with the body's tissues. From the start, tar, a black resinous material, begins to coat the teeth and gums, damaging tooth enamel and eventually causing decay. Over time, smoke also damages nerve endings in the nose, causing loss of smell. Inside the airways and lungs, smoke increases the likelihood of infections, as well as chronic diseases like bronchitis and emphysema. It does this by damaging the cilia, tiny hair-like structures whose job it is to keep the airways clean. It then fills the alveoli, tiny air sacs that enable the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the lungs and blood. A toxic gas called carbon monoxide crosses that membrane into the blood, binding to hemoglobin and displacing the oxygen it would usually have transported around the body. That's one of the reasons smoking can lead to oxygen deprivation and shortness of breath. They work by stimulating nicotine receptors in the brain and thus preventing withdrawal symptoms without the addition of other harmful chemicals. Counseling and support groups, cognitive behavioral therapy, and moderate intensity exercise also help smokers stay cigarette-free. That's good news, since quitting puts you and your body on the path back to health.
You have just listened to the effects of cigarette smoking. And now let us proceed to the next gateway drugs, the alcohol. What is alcohol?
Ma'am, alcohol is a colorless, bitter-tasting substance that humans have been consuming since the ancient times.
Absolutely! Alcohol comes from plants that underwent fermentation. Do you know the meaning of fermentation?
Yes, ma'am. Fermentation is the process of extracting alcohol from a plant or a fruit.
Very good! An example of fermentation alcohol is beer.
Beer, ma'am?
Yes, beer. A beer is extracted from grains. On the other hand, wines are from grapes and other fruits. what are the 3 types of alcohol?
Ma'am, the 3 types of alcohol are isopropyl, methanol, and ethanol alcohols.
Correct! Isopropyl and methanol are used in laboratories and are poisonous and fatal if taken. And now, how about the ethanol?
Ethanol, ma'am?
Yes, ethanol.
Ma'am, ethanol is also called beverage alcohol, which comes from fruits and grains.
Precisely. This is a type of alcohol that can be consumed by humans. And when humans consume this is unregulated amount, it may result to intoxication and alteration of the nervous system. For more understanding, let us listen to the information about drinking alcohol.
So why is alcohol bad for the body? To answer this question, we're going to take a little trip of what happens to alcohol in the body. Once it's consumed, alcohol goes down the normal food path of digestion, from the mouth, the esophagus, and into the stomach. Here, about 20% of alcohol is absorbed through the stomach lining into the bloodstream, which means it's getting into the bloodstream very quickly. From the stomach, the alcohol that was not absorbed in the stomach next travels to the small intestine. One note here, there's no food in the stomach, so an empty stomach, or if the alcohol is not consumed with any food, it gets to the small intestine very quickly. In the small intestine, the rest of the alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream and travels to the liver. The liver is going to work on the alcohol molecules to break them down, making it possible to eliminate them from the body. So in the liver, an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase, which is also present in the lining of the stomach, which we will call ADH, oxidizes the alcohol or ethanol molecule. In basic terms, this means that the enzyme comes in and changes the chemical structure of ethanol. So ethanol becomes acetaldehyde. This substance is known to be toxic and carcinogenic, or in simpler terms, poisonous and cancer-causing. This acetaldehyde is then metabolized down to a substance called acetic acid, which is less harmful to the body. When alcohol reaches the heart, blood pressure decreases and blood vessels relax. The heart then pumps the alcohol-rich blood to the lungs. Some of the alcohol in the lungs is breathed out every time you exhale, causing your breath to smell of liquor. The lungs send the alcohol-containing blood back to the heart, where it's pumped to all parts of the body, including the brain. Once alcohol enters the brain, it slows down nerve cells that control your ability to move and think. So judgment becomes impaired and movement becomes disrupted. Alcohol also increases blood flow to the skin, which may make some fair-skinned people turn pink, and some people will begin to sweat, and most will smell like alcohol. Alcohol also decreases the body's production of antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone helps your kidneys manage the amount of water in your body. It's always about moderation. Limiting yourself to 1 or 2 drinks from time to time is probably a good strategy. As you can see, overconsumption of alcohol has a lot of negative effects on your body, and consistent overconsumption of alcohol has catastrophic effects on your body. And that be alcohol. Moderation, folks, moderation.
You have just listened to the information about the effects of alcohol in the body. Many people do not realize how alcohol affects their physical and mental health. Alcohol affects every organ in the body, especially the central nervous system. It is easily absorbed into the bloodstream. The liver metabolizes certain small amounts of alcohol, leaving the excess alcohol circulating throughout the body. There are short and long-term effects of alcohol drinking. What are those short-term effects of drinking alcohol?
Ma'am, the short-term effects of drinking alcohol are slurred speech, impaired judgment, distorted vision, and hearing.
Correct! What else?
Ma'am, another short-term effects of drinking alcohol: headaches, drowsiness, and unconsciousness.
Very good. Another short-term effects of alcohol are vomiting, diarrhea, breathing difficulties, and upset stomach. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. How about the long-term effects of drinking alcohol? Do you have any idea?
Ma'am, the long-term effects of drinking alcohol are high blood, heart attack, and liver cancer.
Amazing! What else?
Ma'am, another long-term effects of alcohol are asthma, body odor, and bad breath.
Very good! Those are the short and long terms of drinking alcohol in our body. The development of resistance skills or skills can help an individual resist temptations or pressure. What is resistance skills?
Resistance skills, ma'am?
Yes, resistance skills.
Ma'am, resistance skills are skills that are used to say no to an action or leave a situation.
You are correct. Here are aggressive ways for effective refusing negative peer pressure. First, say no assertively. Second, give reasons for saying no. Third, repeat saying no several times. Fourth, use non-verbal behavior to match verbal behavior. Fifth, avoid situations where you will be pressured into making wrong decisions. Sixth, avoid people who make wrong decisions. And lastly, resist pressure to engage wrong decisions. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Aside from developing resistance skills, there are helpful alternatives to cigarette smoking and alcohol drinking. What are the helpful alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle?
Ma'am, the helpful alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle is participating in sports and other physical activities.
Very good! Any more alternatives?
Ma'am, develop a hobby like cooking and baking.
Amazing! Another alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle is you can also join in clubs and civic organizations in school and in your community. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Before we continue, let's have an infomercial.
COVID-19 has caused loss of lives and economic hardship all over the world. It has changed our habits and the way we live while testing our public health systems and impacting on our livelihoods. With this, the role of environmental health practitioner has never been more vital as we face up to the ongoing challenges this pandemic. Many changes are about to happen for a greener environment. more equal, and more stabilized economy. COVID-19 pandemic has resulted numerous impacts on the environment and climate. But amid this crisis, we have a chance to build a better community and environment. Hashtag healthy environment. Hashtag healthy community.
Kayo nakikinig sa Health Grade 8. Kasama si Teacher Nina Jenny Sigiliano.
I'm back! This time, open your learning activity sheets on page 2. Let us answer activity 1 titled Text Twister.
Text twister.
Directions. There are words that are considered to be harmful to people who smoke cigarettes or use tobacco. Arrange the letters for each item to decipher the words. A hint is provided below and beside the word or words. Let us answer number 1. Too much exertion of blood against the arteries causing damage. What is the answer?
Ma'am, the answer is high blood pressure.
Correct! You may answer the remaining items in your most convenient time after the broadcast. Let's move on to activity 2 on page 3 titled My Advocacy.
My advocacy.
Directions. Make a slogan on how you can help to prevent smoking cigarette and drinking alcohol. Write your slogan in a separate sheet of paper or in a short bond paper. Use the following questions as your guide. These are the guide questions. 1. As a teenager, what can you do to prevent cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol? And 2. How can smoking and drinking alcohol destroy one's life and family? This slogan or activity will serve as your performance task in Health 8. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This time, let us summarize what we have taken up.
Ma'am, we discussed the gateway drugs, the cigarette and alcohol, the negative impact of cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol in the body, family and community, and the helpful alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle.
Very good! Before we end our lesson, let me check if you really understood our lessons. What are the healthy alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle?
Ma'am, the healthy alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle are participating in sports and other physical activities, developing a hobby like cooking and baking, and joining clubs and civic organizations in the community.
Very good! You really understood our lesson. For your last activity, reflection part, and the validating questions, do all your activities in your most convenient time after the broadcast. Congratulations! We are done with our lesson in Health 8. I hope you understood our discussion.
I would like to acknowledge the teachers behind this RBI lesson. Teacher Ana Marie D. Mercado, our script writer. Teacher Fausto S. Maneja Jr., our content editor. Teacher Jorlene B. Munar, our language editor. Teacher Arnel V. Lagasca, our technical specialist. And our overall quality assurance team, Ma'am Jacqueline L. Partible, Head Teacher 3 of the Filipino Learning Area. Sir Ferdinand G. Del Rosario, Head Teacher 3 of ESP Learning Area. Ma'am Emily C. Valenzuela, Head Teacher 3 of the Araling Panlipunan Learning Area. And Sir Leonidas C. Bernardo, Head Teacher 3 of the MAPEH Learning Area. This is your radio teacher, Teacher Nia Jency Guillermo, leaving you a quote from Jared M. Brown. There is nothing more beautiful than a sunset viewed over a glass of chilled champagne. Thank you everyone and goodbye. Coming up next is our RBI live discussion.
Music, arts, physical education, and health. Mga aralin na dapat malaman, inyong tututukan dito sa Dance Radio. Ang istasyong magbibigay ng edukasyon kahit saan. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Totonia Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela. Ang silid-aralan sa radyo. 106.3 DWDR-FM. WDR-FM. Dance Radio. Sa MAPEH, learning is amazing.
Dance Radio, silid-aralan sa radyo. Hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta na magtulong-tulong. Sulong edukalidad, Dance Radio. Learning is amazing.
All right, we are back. Ayan. Salamat sa mga technical specialist natin dito, no? Sila po ang nag-aalalay sa amin. So, you have just heard your last lesson this quarter 4. Our lesson a while ago in our RBI is about Ma'am Mylene.
Okay, yes sir. So bago tayo dumako sa ating discussion for this afternoon, may papakita kaming larawan, may pa-flash kaming larawan sa screen. So, Sir Arnel, this activity is called picture analysis. So, tatanungin natin yung ating mga mag-aaral kung ano yung makikita nila sa picture na naka-flash sa screen. So, i-comment nyo yung sagot ninyo dito sa ating comment box at babasahin namin ni Sir Arnel.
Yes. Ano nakikita nyo dyan sa drawing o sa picture? Sige nga. Ayan, mag-aantay tayo ng mga ilang minuto kaya dito, Ma'am Mylene, no? Siyempre, itatype pa nila kung ano yung sagot nila, no? So, ako din, parang may nakikita ako dyan na 4 na karakter. Tapos, meron 2 bata. Ano kayang ibig sabihin yan?
Yes, sir. So, isa dyan is si sigarilyo. Tapos,
Ayan.
may isang
May sumagot,
bote
Ma'am
ng
Mylene.
alak. Meron ba, sir?
O, sabi
Sige,
niya,
sir.
alak, sigarilyo. Sabi niya ni Gerson Marinay ng 8 Crimson. Tama siya. May alak tsaka sigarilyo. O anong ginagawa nung 2 subject na yon, si alak tsaka si sigarilyo?
Doon sa 2 bata. Kasi makikita natin dyan sa larawan, may 2 bata, isang batang babae at saka isang batang lalaki. So ano ang ginagawa nung sigarilyo at alak dun sa dalawang bata?
Ayun, may sumagot ma'am. Si John Lester Lopez ng 8 Ivory. Sabi niya, alak, sigarilyo po ma'am. Niyaya po nila ang mga bata. Niyaya saan? Sa bagay yung si sigarilyo may tinuturo siyang gate doon. Ano? Niyayayang pumasok siguro doon sa gate.
Yes, sir.
Yan yung point siguro ni sino to? Si Lester. Yan. Tapos, ang dami nila mga sagot to.
Meron pa, sir, si Joseph Ralph Sadiwa. Sabi niya, illegal drugs convincing the two child to try drugs.
Wow, galing naman.
At ayon din kay Ashley Timoteo, sabi niya, cigarettes and alcohols are slowly encouraging children to use illegal drugs. Okay. So ang gagaling nila.
Ashley,
ang gaganda ng idea nila.
8SPJ, ano?
Yes, sir. So, sa tingin nyo, mga grade 8 learners, ano yung pag-aaralan natin ngayong araw? Sir Arnel?
Oo, kasi kanina binanggit na yan sa ating RBI. So base doon sa may motivation namin kanina, meron doon nakalagay doon sa gate na gateway to dangerous and illegal drugs. Yan. Sabi dito, ang dami nilang mga sagot dito sa may chat box Tama yung mga pinaglalagay po nila dito. So na kung saan, marami kayong mapupulot din na aral, lalong-lalo na sa mga kabataang katulad ninyo. Malalaman din ninyo kung bakit ang gateway drug ay may naidudulot sa katawan ng isang tao, may epekto sa kalusugan, pamilya, at komunidad. Ano nga ba ang gateway drugs? So kanina mayroon na kayong sagot dito. Gateway drugs are legal drugs. Meron tayong example dito alcohol tsaka cigarette. So gateway drugs are legal drugs that a non-drug user might try, which can lead him or her to more dangerous drugs such as marijuana and shabu. Tapos, the habitual use of these substances opens the door to the use of other harder drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and many more. Other types of gateway drugs are marijuana inhalants and some prescription drugs. So, sa makatwid, ang halimbawa ng gateway drugs ay alcohol at cigarettes. Ma'am Maylene, ano nga ba ang tinatawag nating cigarette?
Yes, Sir Arnel. Cigarette is a finely grounded and processed tobacco wrapped in a special paper for smoking.
Tama ka dyan, Ma'am Maylene. Ang sigarilyo ay galing sa tobacco. Ano nga ba ang tobacco? Tobacco is a leafy originally grown in South and Central America, but now cultivated throughout the world. There are many species of tobacco, but Nicotiana tabacum, or sometimes called common tobacco, is preferred for producing present-day cigarettes. So, meron tayo dito sa bayan ng Aurora, no? Makikita nyo dito sa may picture, hindi lang dito sa Aurora, sa Isabela, ang dami pa mga nagtatanim na mga tabako ngayon. Lalong-lalong dito sa bayan natin ng Aurora. So makikita nyo dito sa picture na to, saan kaya ito? Sa
yes, sir. So alam na alam ng ating mga grade 8 learners kasi
may ilog siya
Oo, sir. Dito sa Aurora, marami ang pataniman ng tabako. Sa iba't ibang barangay, like dyan sa parteng Dalig-Kalinga, dito sa Panisien, Villapugu.
Yes, correct.
So alam na alam nating lahat
yan.
yan.
Kaya pagka ako dumadaan sa bukid, naku, ang dami pong mga nagtatanim na mga tabako. Katulad dito sa may picture na nakikita nyo ngayon, ayan ay lugar doon sa tabing ilog. Saan kayo yung mga baryo natin dito sa Aurora na malapit sa ilog? Andyan ang Panisien, Villafugo,
Apiat.
Yan. Actually,
Makatal.
kuha ko yan sa may sa may Panisien. Okay. Eto, meron pa mga pictures dito Ayan. So nakikita nyo diyan yung pag-harvest nila ng tabako, tapos nilalagay nila sa parang parang kubo na na-covered siya ng white canvas. Kaya pagka namamasyal ako, Ang dami mga ganyang makikita, no? Diyan po nila nilalagay mismo na sa may farm. Kasi bawal po dito sa may, dito sa community natin kasi nangangamoy. Yan. So, eto pa. Yan. So, meron akong picture diyan na yung matanda, no? May tawag dyan agdawis.
Agdawis.
Yan, agdawis. Actually, nasubukan ko ngayon nung bata ako dyan dito sa may likod ng La Suerte na bakery. Meron din silang ganyan. Kasama ko po yung mother ko na nagaganyan, nagdadawis. Sa lolo ko din, meron din po silang ganyan. Yan. So, kaya lang kung minsan, pagka ganyan, masakit sa ulo kasi yung amoy po nung tobacco. Okay? Meron din dito sa picture, diyan na nila nilalagay. Actually, ang ginagawa nila, pinuputol na lang nila yung plant sa kanila sinasabit doon sa may pinagdadryan nila. Okay? So, kinakalan dapat yan may lilim para hindi po siya mabasa. Diyan nila nilalagay pagka mabasa para hindi siya masisira, no? Marireject na yun pagka ganun. So, meron din dito na dried siya sa tawag dito sa araw, under the sun. Then, yan. May mga pictures pa rin ako na makikita nyo dyan. Talaga nakasabit yung mga tobacco. So, actually, dito sa may bayan ng ating Aurora, no, tungkol dito sa may, sa may tobacco, nagkakaroon tayo ng excise tax. Kung makikita nyo sa bawat barangay, meron tayong patrol car. Yun yung tricycle. Alam nyo yun, sa bawat barangay.
Yes,
Tapos
sir.
yung ELF, alam niyo yung ELF ng bawat barangay ngayon, nang dahil sa tobacco, yun ang naiproduce natin sa bawat barangay. O, diba?
Okay.
Ang ganda.
Yes, sir.
Yan. So, dito naman, actually yung mga ating mga indigenous people, lalo to mga to, gumagamit sila ng tobacco. O, pagka makikita nyo doon po sa may picture, no, dalawang matanda, may makikita kayo sa bibig nila, yun yung pipe or pipa. Tapos nilagyan nila ng tobacco hanggang sa matunaw na po o masunog na po yung tobacco doon sa pipe nila. Actually, kung minsan yung ibang mga matatanda yung sigarilyo nila nasa loob yung yung mamaylin, yung apoy. Baligtad. Instead na yung apoy nasa labas, yung iba nasa loob.
Sir, yun yung traditional na...
Ang gagaling nila. Actually, pagka nasa loob nga, nagsasalita pa ngayon.
Sir, yung mga matatanda.
Gagaling nila. Hindi kayo napapaso yung mga dila nila.
Yes, sir. So, yung nabanggit mo, sir, isa lamang yun sa mga advantages ng tabako.
Yes.
Nakakapagbigay sila ng extra income at saka sabi mo nga, yung mga help na binigay sa per barangay ay dahil sa tabako.
Yes.
So, makikita natin na yun yung advantage. May mga disadvantages kaya ang cigarette. Malalaman natin yan as we go on with our topic. Yes, sir.
Okay, so meron din tayo dito isa pang picture. Yan yung mga nasa pakete na, no, nakapak ng mga cigarette. Tignan nyo yung mga brand nila. Tignan nyo yan, Okay. So first picture. Basahin niyo kung yung pangalan po nung nasa pakete. 'Di ba? Champion. 'Di ba dapat yan champion, Ma'am Maylin?
Oo nga, sir. Champion.
Champion. Okay, ito pa isa pang picture. Ano ba dapat ito? Camel ang nakalagay din pero dapat yan ay camel. 'Di ba? Pinagagawa nila doon sa mga pangalan ng ng mga cigarette. Ito. 'Di ba dapat yan Marlboro? Ang nilagay niya Marlbovo. Diba? Diba? Next. Ito pa. Ano ba dapat yan? More. Nilagay nyo, Nor. Nore. Ito pa. Diba dapat yan ay? Philip Morris. Ang nakalagay, Tulip Norris. Diba? Next. Ito pa. Instead na Winston, naging Winson. Ayan. So, yan po yung mga example lang po na, ewan ko, parang imitation lang yata mga ito. Okay? Then, makikita nyo din sa mga pack niyan, merong nakalagay na label. Marlboro. Nagiging sanhi ng emphysema ang pagsisigarilyo. Yun yung mga epekto na. Pinakikita ko na. So, Bakit pa nagtitinda sila tapos merong ganyan? Nagiging sanhi ng cancer sa leeg ang pagsisigarilyo. Yan, Diyos ko. Ano ba yan? Nagiging sanhi ng gangrene ang pagsisigarilyo. Tignan niyo yung paa niya. Okay? So, yan. Ito pa yung mga iba pang example ng nasa pack nung cigarette. Kaya, kayo ba, gusto nyo pa bang manigarilyo? Oh. So, ito pa yung stick. Nakikita nyo, smoking causes lung cancer. Tapos, yung isang stick, smoking causes heart disease. Smoking causes emphysema. Yan na yung mga epekto. Okay, so, kasi yung epekto na meron siyang content or substances. Mamaylin, ano yung mga yon?
Tama ka, Sir Arnel. According to World Health Organization, tobacco smoking and chewing is the second leading cause of death around the world. It is responsible for the death of 1 in 10 adults worldwide, approximately reaching about 5 million deaths in a year. So, ang ratio niya, Sir Arnel, is 10:1. In every 10 adults, isa ang namamatay dahil sa paninigarilyo. So, approximately worldwide, reaching about 5 million deaths a year. Okay, it is estimated that the death toll will rise to 10 million each year by the year 2020. So, nung 2020, hindi na lang pala siya 5 million deaths per year, kundi 10 million na. So, umangat na ng umangat.
Nakalagay dito, 2020 pa ito, 2022 na ngayon. Ilan na kaya ang yan? Total ng namatay.
Kaya nga, sir.
Kaya ang sigarilyo ay may 4,000 chemicals at ang lahat ng chemicals na ito are all poisonous and flammable. Merong 43 carcinogens ang sigarilyo. Kapag sinabi natin carcinogen, this is a substance that cause a cancer. Diba, Ma'am Maylin?
Yes, sir. Maliban diyan, sir, ang sigarilyo ay may sangkap din na nicotine. So, ano nga ba ang nicotine? Nicotine is the addictive drug found in tobacco products like cigarette and is a poisonous stimulant. A stimulant drug increases the central nervous system or the CNS activity. The central nervous system controls all body organs like the heart, the lungs, brain, and processes like heart rate, blood pressure rate, respiration rate, and more. Every time a cigarette is lit, smoke is emitted. There are 3 smokes produced by cigarette smoking, namely the mainstream smoke, side stream smoke, and the third hand smoke. Ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating mainstream smoke? Okay? Mainstream smoke refers to specifically to the smoke that a smoker directly inhales. So ito yung smoke na nakukuha mismo ng smoker. Okay.
Ay, wait lang.
The side stream smoke naman is the smoke that comes out of the lighted end of a cigarette or pipe. This is also called secondhand smoke or environmental tobacco smoke. This is more dangerous than mainstream smoke because it is not filtered and is easily absorbed by body cells. So, mas dangerous ang side stream smoke kaysa yung mainstream smoke.
Correct.
Okay, third hand smoke. Okay, smoke left for a long time on a sofa, beddings, pillow, and other objects. This smokes, also called residual tobacco smoke or the RTS, settles along with dust and can last for months. This smoke still contains harmful chemicals and carcinogens. So yon. So it can last a month pala. Yung smoke na naiiwan sa mga sofa, curtains, bed sheets. Ganun, sir.
Sa damit din ng tao kasi kumakapit din yun eh.
Yes, sir.
Yan. Okay, so yan, narinig na natin ang tungkol sa 3 smokes produced by cigarette smoking. So, the following are some reasons why people or teenager smoke. One is peer pressure. Bakit kaya peer pressure? Siguro ito yung tinatawag nating pamimilit nung yung mga kaibigan natin. Halimbawa sa isang grupo magbabarkada kayo, no? Tapos ikaw lang yung hindi naninigarilyo. Ngayon, yung kasama mo naninigarilyo sa pinupush kang, manigarilyo ka na, ito maganda ito. Kaya lang hindi pwede. Huwag niyong gayahin yung mga ganun, no? Pagka kung yung mga barkada nyo naninigarilyo, hayaan nyo sila lang yon, no? Hindi po pwedeng ganun. Next, parental influence. Isa pang reason ito, no? Halimbawa sa bahay ninyo, yung nanay ninyo, o nanay mo, tatay mo ay naninigarilyo, may tendency na makakwan ka din, mahahawa, no? So, kinakalang dapat iwasan yun. Yun ang sabi nila, pero dapat hindi, no? Next is, number 3, we have also the advertising and media. So, nakikita natin to sa mga commercial or sa social media. So, yan, nakikita, masubukan niya. No. Dapat huwag niyong susubukan. Next, self-medication. Sabi kasi nila, pagka, halimbawa, self-medication, masakit yung tiyan ko, o kaya masakit yung ulo ko, ano kaya magsigarilyo? Tingnan natin kung baka mawawala. Dapat wag yon. Kasi wala naman sinabing doon sa pakete ng halimbawa, doon sa pack na ay gamot din ito ng sakit sa ulo. Wala namang nakalagay na ganun. So, wag kayong nagsa-self-medication. Next, stress relief. Okay? So, dito kasi, sabi nila nakaka-relax pagka nag-take ka ng cigarette. Tapos, number 6, weight control. Sabi nila, mag-take nga ako ng baka sakaling mabawasan yung timbang ko. Hindi. Huwag kayo maniwala sa mga ganyan. Okay? Next is to feel mature and sophisticated. Mature naman na ako Matanda na ako, nasa edad na ako ng ganito kahit na. Kahit nasa 60, nasa 45, nasa 35, 15 years old ka, no. Kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na risk-taking behavior. Papahamak mo lang yung sarili mo. Di ba, Ma'am Maylene?
Yes, sir.
Yan po yung mga reasons kung bakit take ng smoke yung mga teenager o kaya mga tao. Okay?
Yes, sir. Ngayon naman ay dumako tayo sa short-term effects of smoking. Ang smoking ay merong short and long-term effects. So, unahin natin yung short-term effects. One, we have bad breath. So, alam natin yan na kapag ang isang tao ay naninigarilyo, dahil nga sa usok, hindi magiging, nagkakaroon ng bad breath.
Hindi magandang hininga nung
Oo, yung tao. 2, stained teeth and fingers. Dahil sa nicotine, ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng mantsa yung ipin ng isang taong naninigarilyo. Okay? Number 3, we have reduced sense of taste and smell. Number 4, premature wrinkles. So, yung mga taong naninigarilyo, mabilis magkaroon ng wrinkles. So, kumukulubot yung mga skin sa may parteng noo. So, in short, pag naninigarilyo po tayo, nakakatanda. O nakakadagdag ng edad, ng itsura. Okay? We have also decreased lung function. So pagka tayo ay naninigarilyo, ang unang naapektuhan ay yung ating baga. Okay? It decreases the functions of our lungs. Okay, number 6, decrease immune function. So, maari pagka tayo ay naninigarilyo, lalong-lalo na yung talagang talamak yung paninigarilyo niya, bumababa or nakakapagpababa ito ng immune system.
Correct. Okay, so
Sir,
let's proceed now to the long-term effects of smoking. Kanina yung sinabi ni Ma'am Mylene, ayun yung mga short terms. Ngayon naman, long terms of smoking. Number 1 here, increased risk of stroke and brain damage. Yan. So, mahirap kasi pagka nagkaroon tayo ng stroke o kaya yung utak natin na nadadamage, no? Baka kung ano mapagagawa, baka nandiyan ka na sa mental hospital, no? Kung ano mga pinagagawa mo. Next, number 2, eye cataracts. Mahirap yan. Baka hindi na tayo mawalan tayo ng paningin. Next is macular degeneration. Yellowing of whites of eyes. Ano yan? Parang may hepa, ganun ba yun? Diba? Number 3 is loss of sense of smell and taste. Yan. Then, yellow teeth, tooth decay, and bad breath. Parang dun yung kanina din. Number 5, cancer of the nose, lip, tongue, and mouth. Number 6, possible hearing loss. Meron nga iba din nagsisigarilyo tapos yung usok pinalalabas niya sa tenga. Naku, masama po yun, no? Number 7 is laryngeal and pharyngeal cancers. Okay, Ma'am Maylene?
Yes, sir. So those are the short-term and long-term effects of smoking. So maliban doon sa dalawa, sir, puro mga disadvantages yun. Maliban doon, may isa pang disadvantage ang smoking. Kasi alam naman natin, sir, na ang sigarilyo ay mahal na. So sasabihin natin na ang isang stick ng sigarilyo ay 7 pesos.
7 pesos.
Ngayon, sa isang araw, nakakatatlong sticks ka ng sigarilyo. So that would be 21 pesos per day. So in a day, in a month, yung 21, i-multiply natin ng 30. So it will cost 630 pesos per month.
600?
Oo, 630 pesos per month. Ngayon, imumultiply mo yung 630 pesos sa 12 months in a year, that will cost you 7,560.
7,000?
7,560 pesos in a year. So kapag naninigarilyo ka, you are 7,560. Ay, kung hindi ka naninigarilyo, I should say, you are 7,560 richer than sa mga taong naninigarilyo. So mantakin mo, sir, yung 7,560, marami na po yung mabibili. Pwede nang pang grocery, pwede nang pambayad ng bill ng kuryente at tubig. So isa pa yun sa disadvantage ng paninigarilyo.
Paano yung pagka yung 7,000 yung mga naninigarilyo, wala pa silang trabaho?
Yun na nga, sir.
Diba?
Nakakadagdag kahirapan. Okay? So, yun, sir, dumako naman tayo sa effects of cigarette smoking in our body. So, bago ko ipagpatuloy, nais ko munang ipakita sa inyo ang isang larawan. So, sa larawang ito, tignan nating mabuti, pag-aralan at pag-isipan kung ipagpapatuloy pa ba ninyo ang paninigarilyo.
May ano ba yung alien?
Okay, so sa larawan, makikita natin ang katawan ng isang taong naninigarilyo. Sir Arnel, ano po yung number 1?
Ano?
Pagkakalbo.
Ay, oo, nakaturo sa
ulo.
No?
Okay.
Pagkakalbo.
Yes, pagkakalbo.
So mawawalan tayo ng buhok pagka naninigarilyo. Nako, ito yung, ma'am, itong picture na to, no? Ang dami mong makikitang damage dun sa katawan niya. So every parts ng katawan, merong words na, ano ba yun, yung epekto nung paninigarilyo.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Nakita mo kanina dito sa number 1, nakaturo sa ulo, pagkakalbo. Number 2, ano yun nandito?
Katarata.
Sa mata, katarata. Number 3,
pagkakulubot ng balat.
O, lahat yan, ang dami.
Okay, sir, yung effect ng smoking sa katawan natin is magmula sa ulo hanggang sa paa. So, tingnan ninyo, pag-isipan ninyong mabuti. Kaya nga, sir, pag-isipan ninyong mabuti, yan yung magiging katawan natin kung tayo ay maninigarilyo.
Diyos ko, mababawasan ang buhay mo pagka kayo ay Okay? So, Ma'am Maylene, bago tayo dumako sa effects ng tobacco, ibabahagi ko lang ang isang batas. Batas. Ito ang Republic Act 9211 or what we call the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2013. Nilagdan ito ni Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo na naglalayong protektahan ang mga mamamayan laban sa masamang epekto ng paninigarilyo. Inilathala ang batas na ito upang pagbawalan ang paninigarilyo sa mga pampublikong lugar gaya na lamang ang paaralan, ospital, lalong-lalo na, terminal, restaurant at iba pa. Pinagbawal din ang mga batas na ito ang pagbebenta ng yosi sa mga tindahan na malapit sa paaralan. At sinabi rin dito na hindi maaaring bentahan ang mga menor de edad. Ang Pilipinas daw ang kauna-unahang bansa sa mundo na tumupad sa panawagan ng World Health Organization. Ngunit ngayon, sa ating makabagong henerasyon, tila nabaliwala na ang pinatupad na batas ni Pangulong Macapagal Arroyo. Imbis na nagbago na sa ating henerasyon, ito'y palala pa ng palala. Isa pa sa mga malubhang dinanas ay ang matinding usok na nanggagaling sa sigarilyo. Malaki ang ikasisira ng usok sa baga tuwing humihinga ang tao ng naninigarilyo. Hindi lamang sa tao gumagamit ng sigarilyo, kundi pati na rin sa mga nakakalanghap ng usok nito. Ito yung tinatawag nating second-hand stream. Kahit na hindi sila gumagamit, tila mas lalala pa ang dulot nito kaysa sa mga gumagamit ng sigarilyo, yung tinakil po ni Ma'am Mylene. So, base sa Department of Health ng 2009, isang tao kada 13 segundo ang 1 milyong katao taon-taon ang namamatay. Take note ha, 13 seconds lang yun, 1 milyon. So, ang paninigarilyo ay sanhi din ng mga sakit sa puso, baga, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis at marami pang iba. Ito rin ang madalas na dahilan ng pag-atake ng hika. Ang dati angkit na dita ha. Ang kadalasan sa sintomas ng mga maninigarilyo ay makakadama sila ng pangangati ng lalamunan, kalaunan ay magiging ubo. Kapag ito ay tumagal, magdudulot ng plema. Isa na rin itong babala para sa mga naninigarilyo. Hoy, wake up po, ha? Kapag itinuloy pa rin, maaaring magkaroon ng malalang sakit sa puso. Ang pinakamalalang sakit ay ang emphysema, kung saan nasisira ang bahagi o kabuuan ng baga hanggang sa mahirapan na sa paghinga at paglakad. Ilan lamang yan sa mga sintomas na maaring maidulot sa paggamit ng sigarilyo. So, ayan. Palalim ng palalim ang talakayan namin ni Ma'am Mylene, no? So, nagkaroon na kayo ng kaalaman kung ano ba ang sigaret. So, ito pa yung mga pinag-aralan. Why do people smoke? Effect of cigarette and the 3 smokes produced by a cigarette. So, dumako naman tayo sa isa pang gateway drugs. Ito ang tinatawag nating alcohol.
Yes, sir. So, ano nga ba ang alcohol? Okay. Alcohol is a colorless, bitter-tasting substance that humans have been consuming since the ancient times. It comes from plants that underwent fermentation. So, ano nga ba ang fermentation? Fermentation is the process of extracting alcohol from a plant or a fruit. An example of fermented alcohol is a beer. A beer is extracted from grains. On the other hand, wines are from grapes and other fruits. There are 3 types of alcohol. Meron tayong tinatawag na isopropyl, methanol, and ethanol. Isopropyl and methanol are used in laboratories and other poisonous and fatal if taken. On the other hand, ethanol is also called the beverage alcohol. Itong ethanol na ito yung mga iniinom na alcohol or pwedeng inumin. This is what humans consume that intoxicates and alters the nervous system.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Ma'am Mylene. So there are also reasons why do some people like to drink alcohol. Okay, so ayan. So why some people drink alcohol? So number 1, sa palagay nyo, class, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, no? Shout out po sa 43 na nakikinig ngayon. Ano sa palagay ninyo kung bakit umiinom yung mga kakilala natin ng alcohol? Tingnan natin yung mga nakikinig. Lalo na dito sa may live stream. Paki-comment nga dito. Anong reason? Why some people drink alcohol? No, Ma'am Mylene, meron ba? Okay, sabi ni Azli Timoteo, ating suki, no? Pantanggal ng stress. Yan, yun yung sabi niya. Siguro yun yung nababanggit siguro nung papa niya, no?
Kaya nga, sir. Sabi din ni Kate Mamwad, I think they experience negative thoughts, problems, having a bad day, being depressed, stressed, and also being addicted.
Wow,
so,
ganda
yun.
ng sagot niya, no? Meron pa dito. Sabi ni Arian Faye Ramos Carnate, sabi niya, adulthood and maturity. Si
Wow.
Jocelyn, Ma'am Mylene, ano sabi niya dito? Si Jocelyn.
Sabi ni Jocelyn, sometimes they feel exhausted and tired. It's also their stress reliever to make or give them a good sleep. Smoking and drinking alcohol is really indeed their stress reliever. But at the same time, it'll kill them from being addicted to it. So
Ayan.
sabi ni Jocelyn.
Tapos meron pa din, no, stressed, tired, exhausted is 3 of the reasons why people smoke and drink. Wow, ang galing. Ang galing nila, no? So, meron ako dito, dagdag ko lang po dito sa may PowerPoint ko. Tingnan nyo kung nandito yung mga sagot ninyo. Number 1 is peer pressure. Okay, pagka sinabi natin peer pressure, of course, pagka sa barkada niyo, no, ikaw lang yung hindi umiinom ng alak, tapos pinipilit kang painumin ng alak. Take note ha, careful lang dun sa pag-take niyo ng alcohol. Actually dito sa may bancheto, hindi naman masamang magbancheto, no? Tapos na yata yung bancheto, no?
Sir, wala nang bancheto.
Oo.
Last night na kagabi. Yes.
Hindi na ako nakapunta. Charot.
Yes.
So dito kasi hindi naman masamang pumunta kayo ng bancheto, kaya lang as menor de edad, wag muna. O wag
Yes, sir.
sana.
Yes, sir.
Wag sana.
As much as possible, huwag titikim ng alak.
True. Pagka talagang hindi pa yung right time at
Yes,
saka
sir.
right age, no? The next one is stress reliever. Ayan, may nagsagot kanina. Ayan, no, stress reliever. Okay? Another, to lose one's inhibition. O yan, so actually dito sa to lose one's inhibition, yung mga, sabi kasi nila, napapansin niyo yung mga nagiinuman. Yan, yung una, kwento-kwentuhan muna. Hanggang sa tumatagal, nagtitake ng alcohol, ala, eto na. Nagkakantahan naman na sila. Nagsasayawan na. Nawawala yung pagkahiya. Ano? So, lahat yung mga magbabarkadang nagiinuman, lahat naman sila nag-I love you naman na. Charot. Observation ko lang yun. Next one is curiosity. Curious siya. So, try ko nga din. Mga ganon. Ano kay lasa nito? Pagka natikman nyo, mapait. Next, socialization. Andyan yung sa birthday, binyag, Pasko. Hindi nawawala po yung pag-inom po ng alak. Okay. Next, psychoactive effects. So, actually dito, sa mind yan eh. Kaya kung minsan, iba-iba naman pinagsasabi nung tawag dito, nakatake na ng alcohol. Then, modeled by others. Ay, tikman ko nga din ito. Kasi nakita ko doon halimbawa sa isang, pwede bang magbanggit ng isang brand? Sabihin na natin yung yung may kabayo dyan. Yung kabayo dyan, alam nyo na yon, di ba? Tapos pagka nakatake, yung tipong naka-ere na dun sa, yung tao naka-ere na sa hangin, nakalutang na sa hangin. Ayun yung mga parang epekto, kaya gusto ko nga rin uminom ng ganyan. Kaya, wag. So, lahat yung mga nakikita nyo dito, class, no, hindi dapat, no? Kasi, sa inyo, grade 8 students, huwag muna. Huwag muna. Okay? Next. Effects of alcohol drinking. So, when alcohol enters the bloodstream, it goes in all the parts of the body. The main effect of alcohol drinking reflects on a person's central nervous system or CNS. The CNS controls one's mental processes, memory, speech, learning, and decision-making. It also affects a person's senses, feelings, movement, and breathing. The amount of alcohol that entered in the bloodstream of a certain period can be measured in percentages through blood alcohol concentration or BAC. Ayan yan. So, or most often called the blood alcohol level or BAL. A BAC of 0.05% means there are 5 parts of alcohol per 10,000 parts of blood in the body. A 0.3 to 0.5% BAC could lead to coma, brain damage, and even death. Actually, itong sinasabi ko dito, yung 0.3 to 0.5%, nakikita yan sa may bote. mababasa nyo doon, may mga percentage doon na makikita nyo. Actually dito sabi niya 0.3 to 5%. So dapat mas mababa dapat. No? Pagkayaan na-take natin, nasobrahan natin, ayan na, makukoma o kaya magkakaroon tayo ng damage sa ating utak o kaya pagkamatay. Meron pa yung iba nag-experiment, pinaghahalo tong brand na to, pinaghahalo tong brand na to, tapos iinumin, ayun pala wala na, malalason na po yung nag-take na po ng alcohol. So, very risky yung mga pinaggagawa ng iba. No, Ma'am Mylene?
Yes, sir. So actually, yung pag-inom ng alcohol ay hindi naman masama. Kasi sabi nga nila, yung katawan natin ay kailangan din ng alcohol pero in a minimal amount lang at sa tamang tao lang. Pag sinabi nating tamang tao, tamang edad. I mean, kapag kayo grade 8 yung mga high school students, hindi pa po pwede. Pero kung sa mga taong nasa right age na pwede, pero in a minimal amount. Yes, katulad halimbawa ng mga magulang ninyo, wag ninyong tutularin kasi sila ay nasa tamang edad na. Yes. And also sir, symbolic din ang alcohol, lalo na yung wine. Sabi dito, may share lang ako. Sabi dyan, wine has played a critical role in the Catholic Church and the remembrance of the Lord's Supper as well as Jesus' death. Yes. As a sacrament, the Eucharist is given extreme importance as a sign of God's grace given to the believer. There is no doubt that its symbolism as the blood of Jesus has remained strong. At every Mass, everyone is encouraged to take part in the Eucharist, eating the bread and drinking the wine as a way to consider the sacrifice that was made and what it means to a person and his or her eternal soul. So napaka-symbolic din ng wine. Kasi nga sabi sa mga Roman Catholic, it symbolizes the blood of Christ on the cross.
Meron pa, Ma'am Mylene, alam mo yung pagka nag-aatang sila, tapos yung meron silang nilalagay ng cigarette tsaka alak.
Yes, sir.
Yung tipong yung sabsabot, lalagyan nila ng kakanin, tapos merong nahating itlog na gano'n, tapos inaatang. Oo, hindi naman totally nilalagay nila yon kasi yung pinag-anuhan nila, halimbawa kung sino man yung ninuno nila, lasinggero o kaya naninig. Hindi. To make them honor. Kasi kung wala yung mga ninuno na yon, binibigyan natin ng mga atang-atang na yan, wala tayo. Mga ganun.
Yes, sir.
Yan. Nasaan na tayo? Mas Ma'am Mylene.
Sir, ipakita natin yung conversation ng isang...
Okay. Effects of cigarette and alcohol to
the family, environment, and
the
community.
Importante ito, no? So, Ma'am Mylene, hindi lang sa katawan, kalusugan ng tao, may masamang na idudulot ang dalawang ito. Meron din sa family, number 1. Number 2, environment. Number 3, community. Sige. So, bilang isang kabataan, hayaan pa ba nating maging sakit tayo ng ulo ng ating mga magulang, barangay at bansa? Ano-ano kaya ang mga dapat nating gawin upang makaiwas tayo sa mga ito? Meron tayo isang teenager dito. Kumbaga, nagnanarrate siya. Okay, so sabi dito, ayan na, malungkot tong teenager na to. Sabi niya, problema to sa, epekto sa family. Alcoholism affected our family so much. My father used to drink alcohol every day. When he goes home drunk, he scolds us and sometimes even hurts us. Ay, Diyos ko, nakakalungkot, sinasaktan. He has stopped working because he cannot wake up early for work. My father already stopped drinking but it's already late. It was detected that my father has liver problems.
Yes, sir. So, yan yung maaring maging epekto ng alcohol sa pamilya. Okay, sa sa environment. Okay, I will read the narration, sir. Our barangay is known for alcohol drinkers. Almost every week, there are reported cases of fist fights and murder involving drunk persons. Some of our neighbors started moving away from the barangay. We cannot transfer to another place because we don't have money. We are worried about our safety. O, so, ganyan yung magiging epekto kapag yung environment mo ay punong-puno ng mga tao na manginginom. So, hindi magiging peaceful yung environment mo. Never maging peaceful.
Yes, correct. Isa pa, sabi ni teenager, may problem din siya sa may community. Sabi dito, I am worried that our country is slowly becoming an alcohol capital. If this continues, tourism in the country will get weak. Our economy will go down and we will not be able to eradicate poverty. Ay, naku, nakakalungkot yan, ano? Hindi na tayo makakita ng mga tourist sa ibang lugar. Kasi pag sinabi nating tourism, yun din yung isang, kumbaga, kailangan natin dito sa bansa para ipagmalaki natin yung bayan ng Pilipinas. Okay?
Okay, sir. So, yun yung possible effects of alcohol drinking sa ating family, environment, and community. Okay, there are also strategies and prevention and control of cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol. The development of resistance skills can help an individual resist temptations or pressure. Resistance skills that are used to say no to an action or leave a situation. Here are suggestive ways for effectively refusing negative peer pressure. Sir Arnel?
Okay, so sabihin lang natin no. Halimbawa, ito yung mga step, no. Number 1, meron tayo dito, just say no. Ano yung mga kumbaga dialogue nila? Hey, there's a new bar in town. Let's drink. Sasabihin, no, I don't want to. Ayan, so yun yung step 1. Step 2, sabihin, say no again and again. Sabi niya, well, just drink a few then. We will go home. No, I really don't want to drink. Ayan, yun yung step 2. Step 3, suggest another activity. Ano yung activity na yan? Come on, this is just one time. Can we just go to the court and play sports? Ayan, yun yung step 3. Step 4, ano naman kaya yan? Give a reason. Ayan, nag-ano ka na ng ibang reason. Sabi doon, we can play anytime, but the bar is not always open. I really don't drink because it's not healthy for me. Ayun yung nag-ano ka na ng reason. Step 5, walk away. Sabi niya, one bottle only. Sabi niya, if you want to go, then you can. I need to go home. Okay, yan yung mga kumbaga strategies ninyo para makaiwas kayo ng drinking alcohol. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
Also a law which is the Republic Act number 10586, an act penalizing persons driving under the influence of alcohol, dangerous drugs, and similar substances and for other purposes.
Kaya
So now, sir?
Pagka nahuli ka ng nagdadrive na nakatake ka ng alcohol, may multa yan eh.
Yes, sir.
Oo. Kasi pag i-discuss natin talaga yan, aabutin tayo hanggang bukas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. A video presentation effects of alcohol and cigarettes.
Alcohol is a powerful drug. It contains ethanol, the most common type of alcohol that helps to reduce tension and inhibition in a person. It works by dilating small blood vessels near the skin, hence causing the person to become red, warm, and feel comfortable. Initially, the alcohol affects the brain's motor center, cerebellum, and the medulla oblongata, resulting in the person's poor coordination and balance, sluggish reflexes, change in behavior, and loss of memory, slurring of speech, increased rate of heartbeat, and breathing. Large amounts of alcohol can even lead to coma or death. Long-term effects for the alcohol addicts include malnutrition and damage to heart muscles, stomach disorders like ulcers and gastritis. The liver is not able to detoxify blood or process nutrients due to liver cirrhosis. Other medicines interact negatively with alcohol, though any side medication can be harmful. social and personal problems in life are likely to happen due to the addiction. If consumed during pregnancy, fetal abnormalities and miscarriages can occur, such as reduced physical and mental development, mental retardation, birth defects. Driving while intoxicated is illegal worldwide. Alcohol consumption slows reflex time and blurs the vision of the driver. This would then lead to an overall poor judgment of the driver, resulting in fatal road accidents. Tobacco. Tobacco smoking is habit forming. The smoke drawn into the lung consists of nicotine, carbon monoxide, tar, and other harmful substances. This is why there is a strong link between the act of smoking and respiratory diseases. Nicotine is a stimulant found commonly in tobacco and is responsible for causing most of the chemical changes in the body. Short-term effects of tobacco smoking include an increased heart rate and blood pressure. Tar in the smoke affects the mucous membranes of respiratory systems. This is why smokers cough, because they try to clear their respiratory tract. Carbon monoxide damages the lining of blood vessels while increasing fatty deposits in the walls. Nicotine causes blood vessels to constrict, which leads to heart diseases. In small amounts, it stimulates the adrenal glands to be active. Smokers may feel nervous and tense for no reason. New smokers can experience nicotine poisoning, whose symptoms include dizziness, vomiting, clammy skin, and even fainting spells. The long-term use of tobacco smoking can cause breathing problems like bronchitis, asthma, emphysema, heart disease, and lung cancer. Emphysema causes thinning or destruction of alveoli in our lungs. Tar stains teeth and fingers and can deposit in the lungs, leading to growth of cancerous cells. Other chemical irritants in the smoke cause narrowing of air passages. Smoke addiction may lead to social and personal problems. If the addicts are pregnant women, babies are smaller at birth, and there is an increased risk of miscarriage, stillbirth, and infant death.
Okay, so yan po yung epekto ng cigarette saka alcohol. So what are the helpful alternatives to cigarettes and alcohol that promote a healthy lifestyle? Ma'am Mylene?
Yes, sir. So now, Sir Arnel, dumako na daw tayo sa run-through ng ating last.
Okay, so
Sir Arnel, there are two activities sa ating last. Yung activity number 1 titled Text Twister.
Okay, so text twister. So directions. The following words are considered to be harmful to people who smoke cigarettes or use tobacco. Arrange the letters for each item to decipher the words. A hint is provided below and beside the words. Next. My advocacy in activity 2. Direction. Choose one of the following. Make a slogan. Mamili lang kayo dito ha. Slogan, poster, compose a song, or dance and drama on how can help to prevent smoking cigarette and drinking alcohol. Send your output via messenger to your respective MAPEH teacher. So we have here some questions or guide. Number 1, as a teenager, what can you do to prevent cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol? Number 2, how can smoking and drinking alcohol destroy one's life and family? Kasi doon sa RBI natin kanina, ano lang slogan yung pinagagawa. Pero dito, mamimili kayo kung saan kayo dyan. Saan yung interest ninyo. Kung gusto niyo ng poster, gusto niyo yung slogan, kung mag-compose ng kanta, sumayaw, drama,
Yes, sir.
o yung
Kung,
mga TikTok.
kung magaling sa slogan. Kung magaling sumayaw, sa sayaw. Kung magaling naman magdrama, edi dun sa drama.
Sa reflection, Ma'am Mylene.
Sir, dumako na daw tayo sa evaluation.
Okay, sa evaluation tayo.
Yes. So, meron dito sabi, identify whether the statement is true or false. Comment your answer on the comment box below. Sir Arnel, number 1, question number 1.
Okay, statement number 1.
Statement number 1, rather.
Number 1, cancer, heart diseases, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease are just one or just some of the diseases caused by cigarette smoking. So, tingnan natin kung sino po ang makakasagot ng number 1. Huwag niyong kalimutan. Okay, meron dito. Sumagot.
Si Jamie Miel Lamog, ang sagot niya ay true. Sir Arnel, check nga natin the correct answer. Yes.
Okay, the answer is true.
True.
Sino yun?
Okay.
Take note,
Si Jamie Miel Lamog.
Okay,
Number 2.
The longer cigarette smoke stays in the body, the more it causes damage to body parts. Number 2. Tingnan natin. Ang dami nagsagot ng number 1.
Si Zara May Berioso, ang answer niya ay true. Sir Arnel, pakicheck natin.
The answer is true. Number
Okay,
3.
correct.
Methanol are beverage alcohol which comes from the fruits and grains and a type of alcohol that can consumed by humans. Methanol. Number 3. Okay, number 3 is false. Sabi ni Zara May Berioso. Ano to? Ang bilis naman sumagot ni Zara. Ano to? Naka 250 Mbps ba to? Ayan.
Yes.
So, it is advisable not to light that first cigarette or drink that first bottle of beer. Live with the principle, be smart, do not start. Ayan.
There you have it, dear learners. Our lesson for today on gateway drugs. Don't forget to answer the validating questions about our lesson posted in our Facebook page. How does critical thinking help you answering this question? Enjoy answering.
Before ending this live discussion, we would like to express our gratitude to the parents, barangay officials, SK chairman, and other stakeholders for helping us to attain our common goal, to educate the learners, of course. Kayo po ang katuwang namin upang maibigay ang dekalidad na edukasyon sa mga mag-aaral ng dance. On behalf of my fellow grade 8 MAPEH teachers, Ma'am Maylene, Ma'am Anna Mary, Ma'am Monica, Ma'am Robbie Rose, Sir Ryan, and our technical specialist, Sir Jocelyn, Sir Mark, Sir Dennis na nandito kanina, no? I would like to leave you a quote from Donald Lynn Frost. Drugs take you to hell, disguise as heaven. Till next week for another MAPEH Quest or hashtag MAPEH Quest, that is Shift 2, Quarter 4, Week 1 and 2, a combination of music and arts, grade 7. So, goodbye, stay safe, always. Ma'am Maylene, sa MAPEH,
Learning is more amazing. Thank you also sa master teacher ng MAPEH, kay Sir Francis.
Music, arts, physical education, and health. Mga aralin na dapat malaman, inyong tututukan dito sa 106.3 Dance Radio, ang istasyong magbibigay ng edukasyon kahit saan man, at ang silid-aralan sa radyo 106.3 DWDR-FM. Sa MAPEH, learning is amazing! Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big. Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR-FM.